Namaskar. Hello and welcome to PGurus channel. I'm your host Sree Iyer. Joining me today is 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 as we look at some breaking events across the world. Let's welcome 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏ji. 𝗏𝗏𝗏ji, Namaskar and welcome to PGurus channel. How are you?
Jai Siya Ram, Radhe Radhe sir, all good and fine by you, Ashirwad and Kripa of Lord Mahanka. Namaskaram to all our viewers across the world.
Thank you so much, 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏ji. So let's get back to Pahalgam. The day of Pahalgam, after the event happened, the TRF claimed responsibility, only to walk it back 48 hours later or something like that. They said, no, we were not involved. Look, all these are games played by ISI. I think the world is slowly but steadily waking up to this fact. And now the United States has listed the TRF as a terror organization. I mean, I also still take it with a pinch of salt because I don't trust the Americans either. The Department of State needs to go through a thorough cleansing. Something is happening. I'm not so sure how much bad stuff will go out. We'll wait and see about that. That's a back-end stuff. I leave it to you. Tell us, how is the thing looking from India and how are things going?
Sir, in the name of Lord 𝗔𝗠𝗍 Ganesha, let's do the 𝗔𝗠𝗍 Ganesha of today's show. Well, there are a lot of things if you look at a broader connotation. Let's not look news and things at an individual level. Let's not look at from one perspective. Let's try to have a spin going multiple directions. Look, whatever happened in TRF did not happen by fluke. Pakistan is coming and batting for TRF and Pakistan is desperately batting for it. Why is Pakistan batting for TRF? Why is Pakistan's Deputy Prime Minister 𝗥𝗘𝗙𝗥𝗡𝗏 doing it on the House of the Parliament? He knows this will all go out on the social media. What are the compulsions of Pakistan? That is something important what I have to see. Why has America suddenly changed the path? Sir, you were saying something.
Look, your parliament, where it should be, in Rawalpindi. You are a joke. Your politics is a joke. Okay, correct. You guys are all clowns. Back to you.
So now, suddenly Americans think, okay, TRF is the one involved. President Trump saying today, 5 jets were down. There are a lot of things which are happening and they are not happening by fluke. And there are a lot of interrelated things here. Then we know there's an attack in LA. Then we know, there are a lot of things which are happening about this TRF, Pakistan. Now Trump is suddenly attacking BRICS. And on the top of that, we have some sensational revelations which are coming, which is telling us that the Americans are closest to the nuclear war than ever before. I think they're the closest now. Now you will look and tell me who's the enemy. Well, that is what we are going to decode in all of this session. Look, friends, the first thing is that we start with TRF. TRF is a shadow organization of 𝗪𝗪𝗲𝗏. TRF was made with an objective so that you could shield so-called Islamic terror. Islamic terror perpetuating out of Pakistan. You wanted to give it some kind of a resistance name, the resistance front and all. It was that sugar-coating this Islamic jihad and terror into some kind of a local resistance. That is why the name like TRF and all came. And, LAT and all these guys got banned by US and all. Though China tried to save them a lot, they could not do it. So that is why they formed this name, so that you could give it a local color, local tinge, local flavor. Oh, Pakistan say, I have nothing to do with it. They're local boys doing it. I have nothing to do with it. That was the whole idea. What happened when the massacre of Pahalgam happened? We all know what happened. And now there is credible intel here. Let me tell you, all this Pakistani massacre was done by Pakistanis. All the foreigners were involved. The people who shot people point blank were possibly Pakistanis, maybe Hamas, Hezbollah, but none of the locals was involved in it. It was 100% operation wherein 3 people were involved. The people were, 𝗪𝗪𝗲𝗏, Hafiz Muhammad Sayyid, son Tallah Hafiz Sayyid. All the things. There was a Sajid Jet. Sajid Jet was ex-commando of Special Forces of Pakistan SSG. Yusuf Hamza or Yusuf Bhai. Yusuf Bhai was another commander of SSG. Other 3 to 5 names who shot the people point blank, we don't know. So it was Pakistani intelligence, it was ISI, Pakistani military ops, and a tacit support from Pakistani politicians, like a direct support, and it was in concurrence with China. So they wanted to test the resolve of Bharat, see how much Bharat can go. They wanted to do a dipstick test, and the people tell me that they did it because they want to avenge Balakot and the surgical strikes, because Modiji said in Hindi, "Ghar mein guske marenge." That means we'll enter your home and slaughter you. We'll come and settle it there. So now they wanted to enter our home and kill our innocent civilians. But these idiots forgot that when our Indian army went, we went and killed those jihadis. We did not go and kill those innocent people. We did not ask their religion and put a gun here and shot them. No, we did not do that. You exactly did what you are good at, killing civilians and women and children, and you wanted to test the resolve of India, what you tried to do. And then your playboy, your invention, The TRF claimed the responsibility, showing, look, we have done it. So Pakistan wanted Shuaib's presence. And another revelation is that all your terrorists, including the 𝗤𝗏𝗏, who was trained in 𝗤𝗏𝗡𝗏, and in all my possibility, he is possibly dead now, because after that we attacked 𝗤𝗏𝗏𝗏. 𝗤𝗏𝗏 was never to be found. If he was back in 𝗤𝗏𝗏𝗏, he would have been vaporized by now, and that is the best part of it. Now you have, and when was this 𝗤𝗏𝗏𝗏 infiltrated into India, Sree sir? He was infiltrated into April of 2023. His first he came with the M4 carbine. His first attack was on an army convoy in Poonch, where unfortunately we lost 5 of our brave hearts. And from April 23 and before Pahalgam, this person was kept in shadows, no attack, nothing. He was like arms closed, just lying in hiding. And where was this person on the Pahalgam attack? What happened on 22nd of April, 2025? And where was 𝗤𝗏𝗏𝗏, the mastermind or the ringleader or the leader of this attack group on the ground? He was in 𝗏𝗏𝗏 forest exactly on the 6th, because the Signet intelligence has confirmed that he was in 𝗏𝗏𝗏 forest. 𝗏𝗏𝗏 is very near to Pahalgam. 𝗏𝗏𝗏 has that infamous black forest where you can't even see through the sun. It's very dense, and unfortunately that forest, we have lost a lot of our brave hearts there. It's a very, very dangerous terrain to be. He was planted there. Exactly, BRICS opens 3 days back. They move in 48 hours before the attack. They go to a local village. The local villagers and the OWGs, the overground workers, are told, you are not supposed to attack, you're only supposed to facilitate them. Even they did not know what is the attack, what are they going to do. So BRICS was opened 3 days back. 48 hours before that, they were there. And 48 hours before the attack, there was a meeting in Rawalpindi, wherein Hafiz Muhammad Saeed's son was there. Asim Munir was briefed about the meeting. Meeting was carried by General Asif, what is his name? General Asif, the current NSA, and they had Asim Malik, the current NSA.
Asim Malik.
And current NSA and ISI chief of Pakistan. And by the way, the program was conceived by Nadeem Anjum. It was not Asim Malik or,
Where is
Asim
that
Munir.
rascal these days? Where is that rascal?
They didn't give him the extension. He made the plan, because I'll tell you why. Because after April 2023 attack, this 𝗤𝗏𝗏𝗏 was kept with hands closed. Don't get involved anywhere. Don't be screened in the radar, because Indian force will definitely kill you, will definitely eliminate you. That is what he was clearly told. So it was Nadeem Anjum's plan. Asim Malik got it right. Pakistan SSG's commandos involved. I've given you the 2 names now. They're there. Another 3 to 5 names which we don't know. I stretch my neck out and still say Hamas and Hezbollah cadre was involved in this attack. India may choose to say or not to say due to whatever reasons, or we may not even know, but my calculation tells me they were 101% involved in this attack, and this was all carried by foreign terrorists, and that's why still we are not able to apprehend them, because Pakistan has already taken them out. And by the way, this 𝗤𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 was trained in 𝗤𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. He was a product of 𝗤𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. All these terror-related trainings were given to him in 𝗤𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. That is what happened. Who were the people? The plot, master plot by Nadeem Anjum. Nadeem Anjum was reporting to Asim Munir. Asim Munir approved the plot. Pakistani politicians approved the plan. The kingpin of the plot, the who got it implemented, Asim Malik, Pakistan's NSA and head of ISI, field, who is the field leader or the team leader, 𝗤𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, ex-SSG commando of Pakistan. Then rest is history. People go out. TRF takes the responsibility. When TRF takes the responsibility, we start breaking the code. We start decoding it. When the revelations start coming the ground. So what did we do? We started telling the people around us, look, this is what we know, and we are going to hit Pakistan very, very hard. Why did Pakistan do it? Because you wanted to trust Modi. You wanted to test Modi. How much can Modi go ahead? If I kill your 26 people, will you come into the Pakistan, or will you do again a surgical strike or a boycott and say, look, we have done good and we are happy with it? Pakistan never expected this, because Munir had something in his mind. We got whacked by Indian army twice. So we wanted to get into their country and kill a few people and send a message. And of course, economy of J&K disrupt, then Pahalgam Yatra disrupt, send a very powerful message. And what they wanted to call it, Sree sir, you know what? Our surgical strike on India land. But what did we do after Operation Sindoor? We devastated them. They came begging and they were pleading and they were at the mercy of Bharat. We dismantled these Pakistan and Pakistanis completely, to extent that the world made them a laughing stock. Then coming to the TRF. TRF took the responsibility. Things started shaping up. Revelations started coming. So what happened next? Skeletons come out of the cupboard. Immediately Pakistan is rattled. Immediately ISI and ISPR get into the damage control mode. What do you say? Pull the press release. You never said it. TRF goes and pulls the press release, but the damage is done. Everybody knows it is TRF. So we talked to the Americans, we talked to the whole world. Look, this jihadi organization is forefront of Pakistan and 𝗥𝗘𝗙𝗪𝗏. They did this on the behest of Pakistan and on with the tacit support of China. And by the way, friends, one important intel has come. The terrorists were using low, short, encrypted messaging system. This low, short, highly encrypted system is a byproduct of Chinese 𝗟𝗏𝗔s. This Chinese 𝗟𝗏𝗔s provide you this message. And remember, when the Poonch attack happened in April 2023 on PGurus channel, we have shown you Chinese 𝗟𝗏𝗔s. Chinese 𝗟𝗏𝗔s and M4 carbines were recovered from that side. And that is the time when 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 had got into India. So when these things started coming, they were shit scared. What did they do? Okay, pull the TRF. TRF pulled, LET, no link. Now, what did the Americans go? We have been doing a fantastic work. Our delegations went everywhere. Our delegations went and showed the proof. Let's don't forget a gentleman called Lieutenant General Rana. Who is Lieutenant General Rana? He's the head of our military intelligence. He called defense attaches from 80 countries in Delhi. They were all generals or top ranking officers from various countries, various militaries. 80 military heads were called and we showed them, look, this is the proof of Operation Sindoor. When things started getting hot, Pakistan had to wash its hands. Indian delegations went to America. They did a fantastic job. They talked to everybody in America. They talked to everybody in the world. World was convinced it is Pakistan, LNT and TRF. They are basically the two sides or three sides of the same coin. They're basically a synonym. So even after pulling back, the TRF link could not be cut. What did the Americans do? Americans want a trade deal with us. Americans want a defense deal with us. Americans want to have a long-term cooperation with us. Or there are some tantrums of Trump that we have to live with. But so what did we say? Say, look, if you want all this, you have to declare TRF as a terrorist organization. The moment America declares TRF as a terrorist organization, as a global terrorist organization, you know what happens? Pakistanis, stupid Pakistanis, this idiot called 𝗟𝗡𝗙𝗏𝗏, he does exactly what an idiot will do. He goes to the parliament and says, look, first of all, give me the proof of where is TRF involved. Tell me what is TRF involved. Show me the proof of why did TRF do it. Mr. 𝗟𝗡𝗙𝗏𝗏, if you're bloody no business with TRF, what is your bloody business with TRF? Why is Pakistan's Deputy Prime Minister batting for TRF? According to you, TRF is a local militant organization. What is the interest of Pakistan's Deputy Prime Minister batting for a Kashmir-based local militant organization? And that militant organization which has done nothing. And then he says, where is the proof? Give me the proof. The moment Pakistan asks for proof, you know they are behind it. You know they are trying to bat them. You know they are going to cover them. Why? Because FATF blacklist, because IMF money, because World Bank money, a lot of aids are going to be cut. That is why 𝗟𝗏𝗏𝗏 was shaking his knuckles, was shaking. He started. The best way, he cannot say, I didn't do 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. The best way to say is, let's kind of discredit. Let's say, where is the proof of TRF? What is your interest in TRF, Mr. 𝗟𝗏𝗏𝗏? What the hell is your business there? That's point number one. Point number two, he says, look, there was a press release after 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 when we are a non-permanent member of United Nations Security Council, which is a pity in itself, which is a apathy in itself, which is a slap to the liberals of the world. And anybody watching this, can you imagine Pakistan being a non-permanent member of UNSC? I think either we have to close the organization or we have to call it a day. That is what is happening there. But that is reality, friends, we live in. I mean, we breathe in that suffocated environment, we may call it. That is what the TRF is. What is what Pakistan is? What did Pakistan say? He says now 𝗟𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 is claiming credit. You know on what? First, TRF, we kind of said, give us the proof. Secondly, he says, and here is the ultimate proof. He says they wanted to have a mention of 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 and TRF. So what I said, no, we are not signing it as Pakistan. Why? Because if you want to write 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, you should write J&K also. He wanted to bring in that element of dispute in it, and we object to the use of TRF. Again, Mr. 𝗟𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. Then he says, oh, I got a calls from all the capitals in the world. There were a lot of people calling me, Mr. 𝗟𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, you have to have this TRF. Otherwise, things are going to go bad. We are going to take you out of it. I was under a lot of pressure. But for last 20, 30 years, I've been doing this. What bloody you have been doing? Terror? Atangwad, this is what you have been doing. What you have been doing, 𝗟𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, where you have been in a responsible position. You must be selling some tikka, boti, kebabs, biryanis in Lahore. That is what you are. What responsible position you have been? You are nobody. You are that tikka wala, makai butte wala. What do we say in Hindi? You are selling that third-rate bade ki biryani in some Rawalpindi chowk. That is what bloody you are. And we have 30 years of experience doing what? Terror? Perpetuating international terror on the world. And if you have nothing to do with TRF, why is you are a win? He says, I did a great job. I had all the pressure. I did not take out TRF. I managed to get TRF out and I managed to get 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 out. So if that is his credibility, doesn't that prove the nexus? Doesn't that prove Pakistan is equal to 𝗥𝗘𝗙𝗍𝗲 is equal to TRF? And nobody can now make out where does 𝗥𝗘𝗍𝗲 end, where does Pakistan start, and where does TRF end or begin. It is all one, and that is why after we got you whacked in the world, after Americans called you out with all the caveats attached, you now have no face to hide. And what you are going to do to your parliament and say, we did a fantastic job because I have 30 years of experience doing what? This is the hypocrisy of Pakistan. This is why Pakistan stands exposed today, and this is what the real front. He will not tell you about Sajid Jet. He will not tell you about 𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗏. He will not tell you about how many Hamas and Hezbollah cadre were there. And he will not tell you how we bloody beat them black and white, and how did they get running to Papa Trump. Papa, save us. He will not tell you that. So you were saying something.
Sumit, just a little bit of clarification here. See, viewers, this 𝗤𝗏𝗏𝗏 is just like a noisemaker in my opinion, because there are two other threads in play right now. Believe it or not, there is a big constituency in United Kingdom and the United States which is pro Imran Khan, and these people are really pushing their whoever they donated money to get Imran Khan released. And in fact, one of the congressmen came on my channel and said that, what about Imran Khan? He should be releasing it. So even as the United States continues to fund the army, they also continue to keep them also on a leash. Say, you need to do something about Imran Khan. So that is, we don't know what is happening. What's happening with him? Is he dead? Is he alive? Is he being moved out? I think he has put his foot down and said, I'm not going anywhere. Now his two sons are supposed to be coming. So there is some 𝗏𝗏𝗏, some dynastic stuff that's also starting up there. We'll have to wait and see. That's one side that is going on. Another thing that we are hearing is that this 𝗤𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, the guy who's the failed marshal, he wants to become the president of Pakistan, and he is trying to make a deal with Zardari, who I don't know how conscious he is. He's become another Biden, and Zardari is not so. I mean, he's a pretty smart guy. He loses his wife, but he still ends up being president. So I mean, no humanity here. This is what this is. Anyway, so he wants to become president. So all these things are happening in the backdrop. So just to keep the facade, right? Just go, 𝗤𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, you just make some noise.
Start
right?
barking. Start barking.
Yeah. So just, there is something else that's going to happen, and people are saying that, look, India is massing troops along the J&K line. Ground invasion is not needed, viewers. Ground invasion is not needed. If you take out the control and command centers, right, nothing is going to happen. India can just walk in. You don't really need a ground invasion. And again, we have analyzed it, sliced it, diced it. Gilgit-Baltistan is a better bet than POJK, because POJK has a lot of poisonous elements still there.
Correct.
So just be patient. And why do you want to get that? Let's clean up what is inside India. Can we send all the illegals back home? At least strip them of voting rights. So there are lots of small things within India that India can do, and that's what is needed. Also, another clarification, you were mentioning about Chinese-made sets. Yeah, what Sumit was saying, and I understand this, is that, see, the way the communication was being done by the guys who shot down the 26 innocent people, they were working on something, a frequency band that is not known and an encryption that's not known, because this is the first time this stuff was used. And these are all Chinese make. And again, India does not have the capacity in terms of compute capacity to try and break all these things real time. India is still trying to catch up. I mean, that is the way it is. You have a fairly big deficit to catch up in terms of technology. You can't go and ask US, look, China has a new encryption. Can you please give us the decryption tool? They're not going to give us. They'll say, you go figure it out yourself. So there are some things like that. There will be some gaps. We've known this thing for a while now. So just have to be patient, viewers. Let's get back to the next topic, Sirji, because there are 3 more topics to go. We're already 20 minutes into it.
We'll cover everything. Go tension me. We'll cover everything. Maybe 5 minutes more. Look, what is important is here to understand before the last sentence on the first topic. 𝗤𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 had no logic, no reason to go and bat for an organization which is supposed to be a local Kashmiri resistance force. If 𝗤𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 is backing for it and Americans have called it a global terror, I think the story of Pakistan is over. The story of 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏. I've told you all the corresponding threats which were, and we are decrypting more, and as well as the more information comes in, we will let you know more. And It's kind of almost sure that Pakistanis lost all the 4 or 5, at least 5 planes in this. That's a different story to it. Now, what is the next attack? Is the Trump attacks BRICS. Now, what? Okay, Trump attacks BRICS. Now, Trump is on a very high, I think, testosterone possible or whatever. He's going really, really crazy, and he's saying that he's just talking tariffs. Tariff. Now Trump has come something and he said, look, if anybody is a part of BRICS, I'm going to tariff you 10%. And he said, last time I told you this is this small organization called BRICS, which is fading. People are running away. People are deserting. And nobody turned up. When I told them I'm put 10% tariff on you, nobody turned up. And this, this is what it is happening and all that. But that is the fun part of it. What Trump says and how he mimics and all. At times at times it looks like the English version of 𝗏𝗙𝗙𝗏 𝗔𝗏 show, so which is not too bad. English version of 𝗏𝗙𝗙𝗏 𝗔𝗏 show. Because 𝗏𝗙𝗙𝗏 is not so good at English, but Trump's English is fantastic. So I love the show, and it's free of cost. It doesn't cost me a lot. I just Google it around and watch a few clips. You enjoy the fun. But the most important part is what Trump is really talking about is that he's talking about, look, this BRICS was made to end the dollar dominance. He says, as long as I am president of United States of America, I will not let dollar dominance go or deplete. I will not let dollar get depleted. We will go to any extent. That's what I've been always maintaining. I'll go to any extent to protect the dollar as the global reserve currency. Any extent means any extent. And he also says that if we tomorrow lose this dollar as a global or a reserve currency, this will be like losing a world war. This country will not be the same again. This country may not exist as again. So friends, Trump, with all his mimicry skills and with all the things you might laugh at, he makes 3 things very clear. He will not let US dollar go down. If US loses the dollar, it's like you're losing a world war. And third, if US dollar goes down, the US as a country may not exist. So it is the existential threat or the threat of the United States of America's dollar. And he says, I want to go to these BRICS countries and I want to impose tariffs of 10%. Then he was very specifically asked about the India. You said that there's a trade deal happening with India, Mr. Trump. What is happening to that? Is the trade deal over, or are you going to have a trip? Now, here Trump diverts a bit. He says, look, if you're a part of BRICS, I'll impose a tariff. Then he asks about India. He dodges the question. He doesn't say yes or no. But then he puts a caveat. In a way, what I could decode from, I have looked at his entire speech and entire Q&A session. What he says, if basically what is he trying to send the message? If I get an indication, or if US gets an indication, you are doing anything which kind of breaks the monopoly of the dollar, which kind of breaks the control of the dollar, that is the time when the things will click in. And who is going to get hit hard? And now what my sources are telling, and what is in the media also, that the US-India trade deal is almost there. There are some bottlenecks here and there which are being worked out. And I'm happy to announce that the tariffs will be less than what Americans agreed with Indonesia. I think with Indonesia they agreed at 19%. Our tariffs will be much less than that. So we are looking at some 10, 12, 15% kind of a tariff, which is good. Maybe less than 10%. That is the most ideal. And of course, textiles and few other things might not have tariffs and all. Though you might hear some 400% tariff, 300% tariff. People in America started floating tariffs as we in India float cricket bets. Who is going to make a century and who is going to get win this match? So exactly that is not what matters. What is what happens in the end of the day? So he's clearly on these 3 things. He has carefully avoided the question on India, because if he answers the question of India, he'll be asked question on Russia and he will ask question on China. So unfortunately for Trump, 3 out of B4 countries, B3 countries, 3 B4 countries are in BRICS. So he wants to carefully manage his path and yet not answer the question. So the red line is, if you start doing anything which kind of changes the American or destroys the American dollar, he's very clear. He says, you have a right to do it, but then I have also a right to protect my dollar, which I think is logical. He says, if you want to do anything which destroys the dollar, I have also a right to protect the dollar. If you want to play this game with me, I'll play the game with you and let's see who wins. Again, logical. Now, I have been always maintaining, I don't see this de-dollarization even in the nearest sight. I have no reasons to believe it's going to happen in the next 5 years. I don't see any reasons as on date, even for next 5-year window. It might happen after 50 years or 100 years, and by that logic, I'll say, I'm going to die, you will say you're going to die, because we all are going to die one day. But the question is, do I need a date and time today? If I don't know the day and time today, then it's all figment of imagination. Is the eventual will happen one day, one day the angels will rise from the sea and they will liberate the earth. Is that kind of a logic that might happen one day, but you and me might not be there to see it. So the Trump is very clear on that. So he has avoided this. Look, the caveat here is, the catch here is, imagine if India is on a 10% tariff. Now, even if you put 10% BRICS tariff on it, it makes it 20. 20 will be still lowest in the world. Imagine China at 51%. If you put another 10% of China, it makes it 61. So that will, at 50 to 60, that will make a lot of things unviable. And especially if he had to hit somebody, he has hit Brazil. He has already hit Brazil with 51% tariff. So this Trump's message is very clear. BRICS, be there, but don't do anything to change the dynamics of dollar monopoly and dollar, dominance of the world. Wherein Putin on record is saying, I'm not interested. Wherein India on record is saying, we are not interested in de-dollarization or any alternate currency as well. So India has made its signs clear. So even if there is some kind of a tariff and all, it's not going to impact us much. It is not going to change a lot of things within us. But I think Trump will never do it unless and until we do something which is very, very evident that we are going to do to get into this de-dollarization game. And for the sake of God, still American dollar is better by a currency which is 20-30 dependence on Chinese yuan. Or Chinese yuan is the worst disaster we can ever hit. Still, Trump is clear on one thing. Look, if you if you come into the American markets, your things get settled like this, which do get your payments, your your transparent treasury bonds. Even within the American system, if you have the dollars, the things move, things are transparent. Imagine you do the same thing with China. Replace America with China and imagine yuan being the global currency. Oh my God! Even if Xi Jinping will get a nightmare, you're screwed. Even if he sees your dog in the nightmare, then he'll kind of stop all your banks transactions tomorrow. In China, if they believe you are against Chinese Communist Party, you don't get train tickets. You cannot buy a plane ticket, and you will start getting minimum money from your ATM. They will even stop your money coming out of the ATM. If their AI flags me out, this my is anti-China's Communist Party. My life is screwed. I am nobody. I have to just live on 2 loaves of bread in a day and try to think I survive. That is what happens to a person in America, and that's how, in China, and that's how the Chinese money works. And Trump is comparing that my system is clean, it's open to all and all. But if you try to come and screw me, this is what is going to happen. Yeah, Trump has some mimicry, or they're scared, they never went there, or they're because I told them they get scared. This is how the person is. This is what exactly is. People kind of there are a lot of memes on Trump on that because of that. So, but having said that, I think these were the most important fallouts we have to watch. And one of the things what we have been negotiating in our trade deal is that we've been telling Americans very clearly, look, we don't want strings attached. What is strings attached? Okay, we got a deal with you, 10%, 15%, 18%, 19%, whatever, done. Then we don't want to tell you tomorrow, okay, BRICS tax 10%. Oh, this pharma tax 200%. Oh, cloth tax 1%. No, once we are done, we are done. Then after that, no tax, no lena, no dena. It's all settled, it's done and dusted. Yeah, unless and until it's a national security issue for UNS, then the things change. So this is what is happening with the trade deal. These are the caveats, and our negotiators are hell-bent. Sir, if we do this deal, we don't want any strings attached. No caveats, no strings attached. This is a clean deal. It's done and dusted. And I think Trump has again indicated today morning that the deal with India is going to happen soon. So pretty much soon we'll expect that deal to happen. There are a lot of tamasha has started here on Trump's statements. Congress is jumping, the usual things and all that. But whenever the thing is, whenever Pakistan comes into the question mark, there's one trademark. The Congress will start jumping, because what Modiji once said, we don't know where the Muslim League manifesto ends and Congress starts. So the relation between Congress and Pakistan is so evident that whenever even Trump tries to corner Pakistan, the problem is with Congress fellows here. They start jumping. Jairam Ramesh will start jumping. What is your purpose, sir? It's exactly the same syndrome at local militant organizations, so-called in Kashmir, and Ishaq Dar is saving them, and Trump is trying to corner Pakistan, and Jairam Ramesh is coming and saving them. Sir, ye rishta kya kehlata? Do you know what does this say? Over to you, sir.
If you look at, I forgot to mention this. You mentioned about Congress is equal to Pakistan is equal to Muslim, blah, blah, blah. This guy was caught in Bahrain, coming out of a gate and going into another gate, nothing in his hand except his phone. So somebody else is carrying all his bags and all that stuff. This Rahul Gandhi. Interestingly, when he was in Bahrain, who else was in Bahrain? A bunch of Pakistani officials, whether it is army or ISI or ministers. The exact, you can go and look it up on Google. Who else was in Bahrain at the time of Rahul Gandhi's visit? So there is something going on there. Looks like they have him, what can we say? CD, some software updation going on. Who knows? So whatever it is, you are not going to be rid of all these things. The mistake was when you had 2024 elections, you should have done a proper job, not lost so many seats. This is where your problem is, and that's why this guy has an inflated sense of ego that he is the leader of opposition. Ghanta work he has done as LOP. He doesn't have any clue. He also exposes how little he knows about politics. So let's get back to the next topic. Before that, viewers, I put out a story. Just 1 second. I've just put out one story about how EU is now threatening India. Because what they've done is they've put sanctions on a Russian majority stake company in India. This is the first time EU is imposing sanctions on a third country, which just happens to have investment from Russia. So they are trying to see how best they can crimp Russia. And there is more stuff coming down the pipeline. We'll give you a couple of other data-based monologues in the next couple of days. So stay tuned on that. So Russia is being squeezed economically like never before.
And so the point in that country, that thing is, the majority of the stakeholders is an Indian company. Minority is a Russian company. 51% is with an Indian entity, 49% is with Russians. So by logic and by principle, it's an Indian company with a Russian partner. So you are trying to set a new paradigm. It's not a Russian company. It's an Indian majority company with a Russian partner. So there's a lot of connotations to it. You rightly said it's a full program in its own. But this is what the Europeans are trying. They are trying to, they're hitting a lot of, with one stone, they're trying to hit multiple words. But that's a different day story someday. Yeah. So this is what's happening. So now, let's go to the LA attack. Sir, the LA attack is disturbing because, again, somebody comes in a Nissan SUV or a car, and he just, there are people who are waiting, and this, in the southern district of LA, he just runs down 30 people with a car. The 6 people or 7 people are critical. This is the 3rd or 4th attack. Some people have been taken to the hospital. Some are getting medical attention and all. So in all likelihood, we might lose a couple of lives. And of no mistake of this, we have no clue who the driver is. We have no clue has the LAPD got him. We have no idea. Around 150 fire personnel are deployed at the site. They're trying to get people relief and take them to hospitals and all. But it is again that kind of a attack which happened in Germany, which happened in I think one was in Germany, one was somewhere else. My memory can't recollect that. So these kind of attacks have become common in the world, wherein the car, a typical car, can be weaponized and can be used as attack. So this is what is happening here. No idea who these people are. The people were at 2 a.m. waiting for their transports to come and all. Suddenly somebody comes and brings down 30 people. And before you can catch him and all, still, we don't know who the driver is. We don't know which group he is affiliated to. We don't know what is the wrong. So in America, it looks like you don't have to get guns now. You just need to hire a car. And getting a gun is still risky. Getting ammo is still risky. But anybody can go and hire a car and turn it into attack. This is a very dangerous precedence which is happening in the world, and if it is not curtailed very safely, the things are going to get out of control and things are going to go into real bad. We hope and pray that maximum people survive. We hope and pray we don't lose a lot of lives, but unfortunately 6 to 7 people are believed to be really critical. So, and let's hope and pray. This is a developing story, friends. We don't know who are behind it. We don't know what happened, but what we have been reading and what we've been trying to analyze, it was not an accident. The car was moved into the people and with the intention to kill as many people as possible. So let's keep our fingers crossed and see how it happens. I mean, a new kind of terror unfolding in the world, which we need to be really, really cautious about. And cars are everywhere. Guns are scarce to find. Bullets are difficult to carry and find. But nobody can put you on a death row with a car. With you on a driving seat, you can show a license. But if you can really weaponize a car now, is this the new normal we are waking up to? I don't know. We have to wait and watch. Let's see how it goes. So after that, we go to the most interesting part of the today's session. And we have still 10 minutes to go easily. Now, there is one Colonel Douglas, Now, Colonel Douglas is a person who was the advisor to Mike Pompeo. Mike Pompeo was the Secretary of State in the
previous Trump administration.
And Mike Pompeo was a very smart man. I liked him a lot because he used to do some straight talking. Even Rubio is a smart man. Now, this Colonel Douglas comes on axe and drops a bomb. He says that America has only 8 days of arsenal left, protective and reactive. Only 8 days of arsenal is left. After 8 days, either you have to hang your boots and surrender or go for nuclear. So is America closest to a nuclear war than ever after? I've been telling you, friends, America will duck, America will avoid, America will ask for ceasefire because America is not in a position to fight war. And the colonel says is because a lot of arsenal has been wasted in Ukraine. A lot of arsenal has been given to foreign countries. And American manufacturing cannot cope up with even with the replacement. Forget the things. And especially he is mentioning what I've been telling you on particularly Patriot batteries, all-time low, and even those 155 mm mortar shells practically gone. He says there are a lot of missiles and systems which will take American machinery or the war industry years to make. I told you I forgot the name of the missile which was given to Zelensky, and what Zelensky did, he destroyed all of them, and of course Russia is still intact. Now for Americans to replenish them, it will take them 2 years. Now Putin is very, very unhappy with the recent developments where some missiles and some ammos are given to the Zelensky. Trump is saying, I'm giving you the ammos because the European Union is going to pay. European Union says, oh, let's see what we are going to pay. But the bottom line is that where is the ammo to give? You are giving your US's critical ammo to the Zelensky, who is again going to buy a few more days and nothing will happen. Now the colonel goes and makes a sensational claim. Colonel says, is Trump even briefed on what is the situation? Does Trump really know what is the situation? Does Trump know we have 8 days of arsenal left? Oh my God. And if we keep on sending our arsenal out of the country, we are risking the security of the United States of America, or we are bringing the world closest to the nuclear war. So I want to ask Mr. Donald Trump, sir, with due respect, you have been saying there was India and Pakistan were on the verge of a war, nuclear war. It would have started a week after. 1 week is 8 days. Now, I'll tell you, Mr. Trump, if you get into a fight with China, Russia, or anybody else, so what are you going to do on the next week? Are you going to go no nuclear? Because what your people are indicating that you have no other option but to go nuclear. Here you are saying that escalation might have led to a nuclear war. You have been fighting along with NATO, with Russia for 3.5 years. Still, Putin did not go nuclear. But the position today is there are things which are worsening with Putin. Putin is saying that you have given ammos to the Zelensky, which is firing missiles into my mainland, and my civilians are getting killed, and we have a limit to our patience. He's threatening the Europe now that, I know who are the people who are supporting this. He's supporting NATO countries now, and your MO levels are all-time low. And let me remind you, sir, then when what the General Ruth of the NATO said last time, that Putin is making bombs on the ammo 3 times faster and missiles 10 times faster than you at 1/3 of the price. So Putin, after 3.5 years of war, seems to be all stacked up, and America and NATO, with practically not getting into the war directly, you are running 8 days of ammo. And things in Taiwan have really, really shot up. Things in the Middle East can erupt any day. Russia is not willing to listen to you because Putin knows you don't have ammo. Why should Putin listen to you? He knows you don't have ammo. Why is Khamenei trying to threaten you again? Because Khamenei knows you have 600 interceptors and he has still 1,000 missiles left. So the problems are getting bad to us. It's not US cannot defend itself. But after 8 days, according to Colonel Douglas, he says, my reliable sources are telling me this is the position. Okay, let's say it's 10 days, it's 12 days, it's 16 days. Even after 16-day war, you have to go to use a nuclear bomb or call it a good day or call it a bye-bye. That is how near the world is to a nuclear war. And it may not come from India and Pakistan. It may not come from Russia. It may come from the United States of America. And with Chinese arsenal, which has built up substantially, Russians have built up substantially. Now the question is, even if Russia, NATO has $1 trillion, which Trump claims NATO will very soon have $1 trillion. But Mr. Trump, it will take you years to build that arsenal. Do you think Putin is going to wait for you if he has intentions? Do you think Chinese are going to wait for you? And if the world knows you are not running out on arsenal, how the hell are you still shipping missiles to Zelensky? What is your relation with Zelensky? Trump is saying that in a week, 5,000 people get killed. Now, how do I correlate the number? Once he says 5,000 in a week, then he said 1.3 million have got killed. Then he says some people have got disabled. But if that is happening, why are you giving weapons to Zelensky? Because ultimately he's getting people killed. And when he has his own estates in Italy and in Milan and all, now the NATO chief has a wonderful solution to this problem. He's asking NATO countries, oh my God, I mean, I don't know also on whose payroll is this guy. And Trump says he's a very smart general. General Ruth, you're very young, you're very dynamic, you're one of the smartest generals I've met. Really, Mr. Trump? What is his brilliant suggestion? General Ruth is saying, as he's not directly saying we cannot manufacture it, he's saying, as the time is the essence, what we are saying to the NATO countries, oh my God, I can't believe this. You give your weapons to the Zelensky right now, and America will replace your weapons. So today, America doesn't have weapons, it's okay. Whichever NATO country has whatever stockpile of weapons, why don't you start giving out from your stockpile to Zelensky? And eventually, America, you pay money to America will manufacture the weapons, and America will give you the weapons. And in the meanwhile, Vladimir Putin, China, Kim Jong-un, they are going to rest on their heels. They're going on vacation. They're going on a 2-year vacation. They're not going to fight for you. There are 2 years. I really don't understand who wants to cut his hands to give to Zelensky. This is what you are telling. And he says that if Putin doesn't surrender or doesn't get a truce with Ukraine in 50 days, I'm going to impose those sanctions. I mean, what the hell? What are you going to impose those sanctions for? What are you going to achieve, Mr. Trump? You're going to achieve nothing. The problem here is nobody seems to be telling you have no industry left. Nobody seems to be telling you your 𝗣𝗽𝗏 𝗍𝗏 Obama has sold America's defense industry, created this war so that it can siphon off all the America's arsenal. And I have been telling you this for the last 2 years. This war was created to deplete American and NATO weapons. Pull my video. I'm challenging somebody. Pull my video. Will exactly find these words. I've told you 2 years back, this is done basically to make American and NATO weapons deplete to a level where they are not a threat. And exactly that is what has happened. Now, with 8 days of arsenal, I don't know what Trump is trying to do. What tariffs is he talking about? What can he even fight today? Iran, tactically, I have my own doubts. Even I don't think they can fight the Iran. Yes, nukes are always an option, but nukes can't be used. Nukes are too dangerous to use. So, Mr. Trump, what are you hinting here at? I mean, even if it is 8 or 12 or 16 days, you're doomed. Sorry, your priorities are altogether wrong. You're looking at a presidency like a businessman. This is a politician's job. If you are the most competent businessman to run the president of America, then get Tim Cook. Tim Cook would have done a better job. He's a better CEO than you. I'm not saying you have not been a good CEO. You have been. If it's all about business skills, then I think Tim Cook has best skills in America. Get him. Maybe Sundar Pichai can be option, but he's not American born. So what are you talking about here? You need a politician to run it. The politician should know where the hell is the preference. And what is being done in India when we are reaching nearest to the trade deal in America, when the 10-year defense deal is happening, a lot of these are happening. They are trying to Prime Minister Modi to give a statement about how many jets were lost, because they know, will said, we have bring down 5 Pakistani jets, and they will say, which Pakistani jets? Remember what Air Force, wherever Marshal Bharati said, high-tech jets. Chinese cannot be high-tech. So imagine a situation where we, in this current situation, we go and say we have shot down 3 F-16s. What will be the position of Lockheed Martin? And still you want Apache from them, still you want GE engines to come, you still want a hell lot of things to come, and you want to go in public and say we have shot 3 F-16s. The American military industry will get a shaking of its lifetime, and that will settle a lot of things. Trade deals will become tougher, defense deals will become tougher, mutual cooperations will become tougher, and forget that. And the kind of fiasco Joe Biden has created with this starting this war. And now I like Trump on one thing where he says this war should have never started. Joe started this war with a vested interest. Here's the vested interest was, it was Obama who got you into this war. It was Obama who tricked you into this war and thinking what he could do. And still, Iran is simmering, Israel is simmering, Middle East is completely simmering. Giuliani is gone out of control. You don't know what the hell is he going to do there. And with so much of American arsenal, American bases in the region, what are your options? You do not even have Patriot missile batteries for basic defense. Basic defense. That is why immediately after that further bombing, Trump unilaterally declared ceasefire, because we know now Trump did not have the weapons. Trump did not have the ammunition. And what this NATO baboons have been running around the whole world and trying to do something. And what 5% ammo? Do you think ammo is grows on the trees? You can go and start paying a farmer and cut his crop. No, it's not going to happen. So, and look at the advantage Putin has developed in the weapons. He has already developed substantial image. That is why I always say when it comes to India also, you have to be Atmanirbhar Bharat. You have to depend on Indian weapons ultimately. Yeah, for stopgap, you have to do whatever you have to do. But eventually, it is Atmanirbhar Bharat. It's Indian weapons what you have to depend on. I really don't know. A lot of people tell me, oh, Russia screwed up, man. Their S-400s were delayed. Oh, Russia has screwed up all that. I mean, we had a substantial delay in Apaches. I was thinking that Americans are playing games. I was thinking Americans are not giving it for geopolitical reasons. Now I believe Americans were not giving us because they really did not have the manufacturing capacity. So friends, no games played here. No. What the revelations are coming that Americans don't have the capacity to manufacture. They have consumed the arsenal at a much faster pace. They don't have the capacity to manufacture. The delays were not due to geopolitical games they wanted to play. The delays were because they didn't have the capacity to manufacture. It's a new paradigm. You have all $1 trillion on the table, Mr. Trump. You have $2 trillion on the table, but where are you going to make the weapons? How are you going to buy that time? So that is why you said within 50 days, you're ducking China. You're trying to avoid Xi Jinping. You are trying to avoid Khamenei. Khamenei has been calling out. Iranis are calling for your murder. And this 𝗤𝗘𝗙𝗥𝗏 Maulvi in Iran is issuing a fatwa against Trump, and you're literally doing nothing because now we understand you don't have the ammo. That's the sad part of it. That is why even in Operation Sindoor, Bharat was completely under control. Bharat did not let it go out of the control. And I was telling you one thing in Operation Sindoor. We want a short and crisp war. We want to achieve our military objectives and stop the war because we don't want to enter into Russia and Ukraine. A Russia-Ukraine kind of a thing will not only crush your economy, they will eat all your weapons, and if the gateway for China will just open like this. The gates for China will open like this. So we don't want to get into these negativos. We want to go and do. So if anybody of you has a doubt, why did we stop Operation Sindoor? If you think Indian army is stupid, if you think Modiji compromised and sold the country, no. Learn from Russia, Ukraine, learn from American fiasco. That is why it was very important to stop Operation Sindoor, where we had to stop. But with a declaration, we are going to hit you back as and when we need, as and when we want to hit you. Perpetually long war is an advantage to China. I've been shouting my lungs out from the day one. So we need these short, decisive wars, achieve our military objectives, call it a day. Because we can't become what America has become today. You might have all the money in the world. You might be printing the dollar. But unfortunately, sir, you can't have those weapons. Your country is really in very high turbulent waters. You're going through the worst of air turbulence. I hope and pray you survive. I hope and pray Xi Jinping doesn't become too ambitious. And I hope and pray you're still able to hold your horses with Putin. And I'm able to hope and pray that next time when you talk to Vladimir Zelensky, don't tell him, can you bomb Moscow? Please don't tell him that, because that might be a fatal thing. There might be some crazy jackass there who might just start it. And if it starts, you know what happens after day 8. Okay, day 9, day 10, day 11. Okay, day 16th. What will be the 7th day? What will the 17th day look like? I get my chill down the spine. I cannot fathom the thought what is going to happen on day 17. This is going to be a disaster. Is the billion-dollar question, is Trump briefed? Does Trump know? I've heard Trump saying that Europeans are going to pay us the money and we're going to make the weapons. I want to question this General Ruth. What makes you think? What makes you think, General Ruth, that the NATO countries should give their arsenals to Zelensky? Whose side you are on? Who do you get the brief from? There's a question, why should I as a England or a France give my weapons to Zelensky and hope America will make it when America is there some screwed up on the stockpiles? You have no weapons practically. What advice are you giving me? I mean, after these revelations, I think Marco Rubio, Pete Hegseth, and Trump should get in a room, lock the room, work out a strategy and call it a day. Else, we don't want a nuclear fiasco. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sumitji. And viewers, we are going to take a few questions because we have a hard stop. We have Indian politics special with Shekhar Iyerji. A lot of new information coming out there also. But before we go into our question and answer session, an announcement. We are now taking orders for the paperback version of Operation Bhasmasur. And I have a small trailer for you, just to take a quick look at what exactly is this about.
Ultimate showdown. Against the 2.5 front. India, that is Bharat, is on the verge of being self-sufficient in building its own nuclear-powered submarines when disaster strikes. Scientists working in critical research institutions die under suspicious circumstances. No one is caught as clues disappear, witnesses turn hostile, and critical deadlines slip. 2 enemy nations, China and Pakistan, team up to scuttle the development of this critical technology by finding new ways to attack and kill key personnel. With police unable to solve the murders, Bharat's Home Minister turns to the Intelligence Bureau and asks them to get to the bottom of it. The IB head, Mike Srinivasan, turns to his ace team of Karan Dixit and Priya Menon. He tells them to not only find the culprits, but also teach the 2.5-country team inimical towards India a lesson they will never forget. They, with help from the Indian Navy, study the situation on the ground and come up with Operation Bhasmasur. A series of exercises are being planned in the open seas among the Quad nations, India, US, Japan, and Australia. The team uncovers a diabolical plot by China to use electromagnetic pulse, EMP, technology to bring down a friendly country's ship and cause friction among the Quad members. Will they succeed in their endeavor and teach China and its cat's paw Pakistan a lesson they will not forget? Read this edge of the seat thriller from Sree Iyer, Operation Bhasmasur.
So, viewers, this is my prediction. Thank you. Namaskar. Thank you. This is my prediction that the next phase of this war is not going to be on land or on air, but it will be in the seas, because it is harder to detect unless you have an exact deterrent to tackle these things. And you also know that there were 2 Chinese ships in the bay very close to Karachi when all this thing was going on, which is why I felt that, if Navy had been given 72 hours, Marte, even the Chinese ships also, they would have shown what the Chinese ships are capable of or incapable of. There's a lot of hyperbole.
Even Chinese Navy would have got exposed. We would have loved that.
Yeah, exactly. It's not just one thing that, their Navy is fine. It's just that their rockets are, no, everything is like that. Let's go to the questions now.
Sure, sir.
Manyat Ranga wants to know, Namaste, US action on TRF is welcome, but can we expect any action against Pakistan, the mother of TRF and such groups?
I think if US wants and if India pushes through, very soon if the trade deal goes through, sir, you will see the things about Pakistan will start tightening up. Trump needs money. Trump needs access to the market. So India knows how to negotiate with Trump. India knows how to deal with Trump. So Trump 24th time has claimed today that he has stopped India-Pakistan war, which is not true. But we know how to deal with him and we know how to get our things done. So you have to really squeeze Pakistan's cash to the best of ability, and then keep Pakistan in the perpetual threat of strikes. That is how you handle Pakistan, and make a C column. You know what is C column, Ranga sir? People. Not A and B is fine. We also need a C column.
Next one, please. Somnath Bose wants to know, sir, I'm informed that Modiji has given a new meaning to BRICS, building resilience or something like that. Please confirm if possible.
I'm not sure of that. So I've not heard about that officially. So officially, there's no word on this. Unofficially, I can't comment because if Modiji has done it. But officially, there's no word, sir. I can confirm with that.
Next one, please. Karthik wants to know, sir, do you smell anything big happening as there are lots of back-to-back meetings, Rajnath meeting, Amit Shah, PM briefing, Murmu, etc.?
Yes. That's all we can say. Yes.
Sunita Raoji wants to know, as you say, the US has 8 days ammo. Is it because of Ukraine or the loss in Pakistan, Dera Ghazi?
Ukraine. Basically, Ukraine has sucked US. This war was started, I told you, ma'am, 2 years back. Maybe PGurus also. This war was started, basically it was a bigger plan to deplete the ammos of, America and NATO to a level where their threat is immaterial. And Chinese would love this situation because, it's not a Russian plot, because Russia also got screwed in the process. So the people are very happy with this is China today. Only country which is happy with this is China. And the Islamists, of course.
Next one, please. Dr. 𝗟𝗡𝗙𝗏, thank you so much. Dollar will be weakened when people trade in local currency. No need of de-dollarization.
You can still trade in local currencies, sir. The Trump is not saying don't trade in local currencies. Trump is saying the global currency or the reserve currency should be dollar. His connotation is up to there. Today, we are a $4 trillion GDP. How much dollar do we use? Hardly anything. So it is whose currency will be the global. He says very clear. We can't afford to do that. We'll go to any extent to prevent that. It will be like losing a world war and the country may not exist after that. He's very clear on that. He makes 3 compelling points.
That's it. And thank you so much, viewers. And your support is invaluable. Today, we had some trouble in terms of viewership. We think we know what went wrong. We will rectify it. Sumitji, what a wonderful lecture on what is going on. And we will be back with Sumitji tomorrow morning in China. A lot of things happening there. It might also be on current events between now and tomorrow morning. A lot of, action is non-stop right now. Action is non-stop. And so just come back and you will get the latest from us. As always, let's take the Ashirvad of Mahadev.
I have to request you, brothers and sisters, kindly to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Press the bell icon. Click the all the 4. Don't click 1. Click all the 4. And please forward our videos on your WhatsApp groups. That's the best help you can do. On that note, Bharat Mata ki Jai, Vande Matram. Om Namah Parvati Pataya. Har 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 Mahadev.